Oh dear. This is going very badly, isn't it?
It certainly doesn't have the makings of a ripping good novel.
What happened here?
Ah, the charming and delightful Fry twins.
Have we met?
Mr. Raymond knows everyone. He knows everything about this city. He writes it all up in his books.
I'm Henry Raymond, writer of third-rate, lurid stories. Penny dreadfuls, if you will. And this is little Artie.
Mr. Raymond takes real murders and makes them so awfully exciting. The guilty always get caught.
There's one unfolding just here. Perhaps one of you would like to try your hand in solving it.
I do find crime so delightfully entertaining, don't you? I mean, solving crimes, of course. Finding a solution is exhilarating. Solving crimes, of course. Finding a solution is exhilarating.
They're a rough bunch, but someone has to keep them. I arrived.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
He's my brother. He don't like to work hard, so one of the workers give him a thrashing. I tried to stop it, and he stops hitting Buck and starts hitting me. He knocks me to the ground and... Me? No.
Oh, no, not so quickly. You have indeed solved this murder, according to the facts at hand. However, Artie, what advice would you give?
I would encourage you to look beyond the obvious, beyond surface appearances.
Try again. Use your powers to peer more deeply and see what you can discover.
I was standing there, having a think, when a fella come at me and give me a thumping. Dooley tries to stop him and he thrashes Dooley. I run out to find help. That's Dooley's knife, all right. He never lent it to nobody. When I come back, the man's lying dead and there's Dooley holding a knife. Please don't arrest him.
The fumes can be a bit much in the brewery. When the men work in there, they wear bandanas. Wilkins wasn't the type to beat the children. On the contrary, he was forever getting in fights, trying to stop that sort of thing.
Me and Wilkins was working out here. We heard screaming. Wilkins went to see what it was about and never come back. I went to see for myself, and there he was, dead. I didn't stick around. Somebody might think I'd done it.
The strange thing is, Wilkins weren't wearing no bandana when I was talking to him. Only the workmen in the brewery wear bandanas. You should talk to Morris there.
believe I should re-interrogate a suspect.
You can always check your case file to refresh your memory.
Well, I was inside the brewery all day. I wear me bandana in there. Man has to, what with all the smells and fumes. I don't much know who smokes here. Maybe Taylor. Cigarette might be his.
I quit smoking months ago. You know, I saw somebody from the brewery having a smoke this morning. Didn't see who it was, though.
Well, like I said, I was inside. Didn't get a chance to come out to smoke. Colton left, though. You could talk to him. He's working in the loading area just now.
Look for more clues.
I was having a chat with one of the others when I heard a commotion and ran in there to find Wilkins dead. Poor bloke, killed by that filthy little bastard that we feed and pay. I don't smoke. Never did.
I should go back and ask about this.
Oh, very well. So I do smoke now and then. What's it matter? I should be foreman here. Wilkins coddled the boys like a mother hen. He come along and stops me giving the boys a beating.
That was much more difficult than it initially appeared. Well done.
Up to the clink with you.
A tragedy in the park.
Another chance to sort out a diabolical conundrum. One that I'll turn into a one-a-penny read for Purlock Publishing.
I wonder if someone can tell me more about this. Well now, I didn't ask about this. believe I should re-interrogate a suspect. Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
That's very odd indeed. Prudence was a patient here, but wasn't given this prescription. There's no reason that she should be carrying such a packet. Oh my God, Prudence! How horrible! I was about to propose. But I don't understand. She and I didn't have a meeting arranged today. It is true that we sometimes meet in the park, but there was no arrangement for this morning. You appreciate, I'm sure, that I cannot discuss the condition of any of my patients.
I'm sorry to hear about her murder. She was a patient here, but increasingly began to stop by socially. Dr. Alton makes house calls to see him. Baxter doesn't come into the office. I make up the prescriptions and he picks them up at noon when I'm away at lunch. So she was meeting Dr. Alton in the park, was she? My understanding was that she was engaged to someone. In any case, the good doctor could do better, in my opinion. Perhaps now he will. Mr. Baxter apparently attacked the doctor yesterday. It was after hours, but the doctor did have a cut on his cheek. Poor man.
I'm quite angry, actually. I was having such terrific results. I felt like a new man. Much more vigorous and outgoing. But the doctor has ended the prescription altogether for no reason. I don't know any of Dr. Alton's other patients.
An unfortunate incident. One of my patients became overexcited.
I'll find out where you're buried.
Prudence and I are engaged to be married. I'm desperate to see her. She should be by any moment. She had something important to tell me. I'm worried she's going to break off the engagement. Prudence has been so distant lately. I believe she has a misplaced affection for her doctor, the cad. I would make a much more appropriate husband, and the wedding is planned.
I saw her kissing my man in the park, didn't I? I followed her to this street yesterday, but lost her. I'll come every day if need be, until I catch her again. That trollop better promise to let him alone, or I'll give her what for. He's all mine, I tell you. All the girls want a bit of Baxter, but they can't have him. You ask him yourself, he lives just that way.
I should return and find out about this.
That medicine was developed by Dr. Alton specifically for one of our patients, Mr. Shelby. But he's been using it for another patient as well.
Oh God, it's true. I couldn't help myself. The powder unleashed a creature within me. He seduced the innocent Prudence and then killed her to prevent us from marrying. It's too horrible.
I knew something was amiss with the medical powder, but didn't understand until you found those papers. Well done.
Off to the click with you!
There you are. This could be interesting. There's no shortage of firearms in this neighborhood.
I suspect the solution will turn on geometry, timing, and human nature.
There may be a penny dreadful in it. Look into it, won't you?
I believe I should re-interrogate a suspect. Well now, I didn't ask about this. I should return and find out about this. Well now, I didn't ask about this.
He was a good man, very honorable. I'm proud to have served under Colonel Prescott in the 11th Foot Gold Coast, Africa. Prescott put that up in memory of the time he led a sortie across the Pearl River to outflank Ashanti warriors. Things turned out badly that day. Horrific. We lost several of our comrades. Prescott wanted us to remember them. I was on my way here. Heard 2 shots I did, right at the stroke of noon. Bullet hole in the clock. That's a new one. It could have already been there when I arrived at noon. Or maybe it was the second shot I had.
From what I can gather, Prescott was shot almost exactly at 12 o'clock noon. When Colonel Prescott retired from the army, he used his connections and started this munitions factory. He wanted the men that served with him to have work when they left the army. The young lads across the street were fooling with a pistol they'd found. A bullet must have gone astray through the wooden fence. Hit Mr. Prescott smack in the chest. Bloody unlucky for all concerned. Apparently they put the clock there while doing some repairs. It still runs, I notice.
managed to miss the target completely. It wasn't me who killed the man. I'm no murderer. We found a revolver underneath the lumberyard window. Don't know where it came from.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
Saw him each morning as I drove by. Seemed like a good sort. We lost an entire barrel of beer, damn it. I heard 2 loud bangs, but thought nothing of it. Later, I found a bullet hole in a barrel. Imagine that, a bullet hole. My lad Samuel might know more. He's around back, tossing trash in the river. The poor lad. Fell on my doorstep a few years ago. He's in a bad way, has some sort of malady. Rides in the back while I make deliveries. Hard worker, very determined.
You're a striker. I don't borrow money, then.
I just drop off beer. Don't pay much attention to people along the way. There was an hole in a barrel. I've got no explanation for that. That's for some sickness I picked up a while ago. Can't remember the name of it.
Him and me like to insult each other. I was a lieutenant under his command in Africa. I love the army. No one questions you when you wear a uniform. Anyways, every morning when he arrived, we'd call out and joke with each other. Yeah. Well, Prescott led a flanking sortie that went wrong. Lots of casualties. Some men called the colonel a coward, but it were really just bad luck. Anyway, he resigned. To make amends, he offered work at his factory whenever one of us left the army.
I should return and find out about this.
I admit it. I sell stolen rifles and pistols. All very hush-hush. Black market. I brought that gun back from Africa. I was a sniper fighting the Ashanti. I used that gun this morning for Prescott's challenge. It's the only Whitworth we have. I'd never sell it. I made that shot. Early this morning, Prescott challenged me to plug the 12 from my shot. I missed just slow. No one witnessed it. It was too early in the morning.
His goddamn cowardice in Africa got me best friends killed. He should have faced a firing squad.
good sleuthing on your part. It's a miracle anyone survived, what with all those bullets whizzing about.
Up to the cliff with you!
My write-up of that last crime was so ingenious that Purlock Publishing tossed me quite a tidy sum. I believe this next one will do even better.
It's baffling. The room was locked. How did the murderer get in and out?
I should go back and ask about this. I should go back and ask about this.
I rather think you've entered the wrong door. See here, this is private property. Not that kind of establishment.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
Some people just have no respect. That's another outfit I don't have the time to get cleaned. No, it's fine.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
I'm just the housekeeper, but Mr. Cashin was a dear friend. Each morning I bring him his coffee. Today his door was locked shut. My husband is the caretaker. We live downstairs. We have the keys to all the apartments, so after knocking, I became concerned and let myself in and found him like this. The lights weren't working. My husband didn't want to waste any candles, so we retired early. Mr. Cashin was a respected music critic, a very accomplished man.
Time to get cleaned. No, it's fine. I'm sure I'll do well at tea looking like an urchin from the East End.
Gone just like that, eh? He lived right next door and often came home from his concerts a bit drunk and singing at the top of his lungs. Drove my wife near crazy. Cashin had an eye for the ladies, no question. I was a bit jealous of him, frankly.
I'm sure I'll do well at tea looking like an urchin from the East End.
I was down in the cellar fiddling with my experiments. That belongs to Mr. Golden. He's an awfully nice chap. We let him use our apartment during the day when my wife and I are out tending our shop. He likes to rehearse here where the light's better.
That's another outfit I don't have the time to get clean.
I'm an amateur chemist. Henman let me set up a few experiments in the cellar.
East End.
Mr. Cashin is dead? I just saw him yesterday. He looked in the peak of health. If you ask me, he paid a bit too much attention to the caretaker's wife. Scandalous, really. They must have seen each other nearly every day. Last night, I was knitting in that chair. Then I felt quite sickly and opened the window to clear my head. I certainly didn't hear anything. When the lights quit working yesterday, that sweet Mr. Golden handed out candles to everyone. He's such a nice man.
It's true. I loved him. He was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I'm sure I'll do well at tea looking like an urchin from the East End.
Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
I was out giving a benefit recital for unemployed musicians. Several dozen people can attest to my whereabouts. I worked very late. So did he. I only met him once or twice in the 2 years I've been living here. I use him to create an ambience when I hold private recitals.
I believe I should re-interrogate a suspect. Well now, I didn't ask about this. Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
I'm in charge of the running and upkeep of the whole building, so I can get dirty now and then. I was just doing some work in the basement. Mr. Cashin's dead. Difficult to believe. He led a quiet life. Out at concerts most nights, shut up in his room writing the rest of the time. He must have been a lonely man. My wife felt sorry for him and helped him as often as she could. I forgot to put it away after I fixed Mr. Golden's music stand yesterday morning. I left it there, and he came to give it back. The gas quit working yesterday. I don't know enough to fix such things safely myself. A man from the company is going to come by tomorrow.
Ah, yes, be careful with that. It can be dangerous. It reacts badly with heat.
He destroyed an entire orchestra. All those musicians put out of work. A rancorous old man who had no talent or creativity of his own.
I suspect there was more to that mystery than meets the eye. I'm going to look into it.
Off to the click with you!
Here's an especially exciting one. Perfect for a penny dreadful.
A famous professor dies twice.
That's once more than usual. Twice as many sales. My name will soon be known across the nation.
I believe I should re-interrogate a suspect. I believe I should re-interrogate a suspect. Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
It's so very awful. The professor died of an heart attack just days ago. Then tonight, I hear pounding at the door. I open it to find him bleeding and in pain. He tried to say something, then collapsed dead. Again. Spider? Let's get that out of here. Emmett is definitely afraid of spiders. He kept repeating, Barkesso, Barkesso, over and over. What does it mean? He got that a few days ago. Inside was a statue. I thought it was a marvel, but he told me it was quite common. I don't know who sent it.
It's unthinkable. Such a great man. We were still in mourning from the burial. He was buried yesterday in the family plot. My father was an eminent anthropologist and something of an explorer. He made his name by investigating the practices of a small village in the Congo. His colleagues at the university often sent him trinkets from abroad. This is no time to talk about the will. It is true that my father and my fiancée didn't get on, but I'm confident that once he got to know her as a daughter-in-law, they would have become friends.
Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions. I wonder if someone can tell me more about this. I wonder if someone can tell me more about this. I should go back and ask about what I've heard. Well now, I didn't ask about this.
He showed up again. First time that's happened in 35 years of grave digging. I saw the son lock the tomb myself. Body snatching? That's an insult. I'd be in the slammer quick as that if I got caught. It's plain that 7 guineas is a lot for a bloke like me. I'm careful with me pennies and save for a rainy day.
Lovely man, and quite wealthy. I only wish he had lived to bless my alliance with his son. Yes, that's mine. I misplaced a similar one, possibly at the funeral. I was so upset. I hoped you wouldn't find that. I'm afraid several of the faculty purchase cadavers for research purposes. It's a fact of university life. I'm sorry to hear about that. Do you know whether that change was actually made?
An eminent colleague. He wrote prolifically. Probably no one will ever amass the amount of knowledge he acquired. I'm most vexed about that. A rare specimen of the sort I've been studying for years. It escaped a few days ago, no doubt due to that scatterbrained assistant Virginia. My thesis subject. My South American colleagues tell me that this particular arachnid is only found in the Bolivian Andes. Fascinating subject.
The anthropological sciences have lost a great mind. He revolutionized the field. It is my fond hope that I may inherit his mantle. Which one is that? Sorry, difficult to read. I've lost my spectacles somewhere. I recently traveled to Africa in order to continue studies on the indigenous tribe Professor Bing discovered some time ago.
So I sell a body or two on the side. A man's got to eat, ain't he? I broke the lock and left him on a barrow just behind his tomb. It was dark, couldn't really see. But some fella come by and carted the old professor off. It's muddy back there. You can nightly still see the tracks.
I required his knowledge in order to become the greatest anthropologist in the British Empire, and his beloved tribe of savages provided the method.
That Professor Silas was particularly cunning and gruesome. Mr. Raymond will be thrilled.
Ah, this is one that's most promising.
An important detective is missing. Skullduggery is surely afoot.
Solve it, and I'll write it up quick as you please.
He's a friend of mine. The whole station is out looking for him as we speak. Ironically, he came here on an investigation himself. Seems several people have gone missing in this part of town. We've had reports of missing people over the last few months. Detective Murphy is just the most recent and the only one who's anybody to speak of.
Well now, I didn't ask about this. That's unusual. I wonder if someone can tell me more about this.
Good old Detective Murphy. Must be about someplace. He's probably got my eye.
He came in asking lots of questions. I believe I answered them to his satisfaction. I suppose there are a few people I haven't seen in a while.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's an even half dozen. Good to see you again, sir.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
He was in here asking about missing people. Bought a meat pie, he did. Stayed and chatted for a few minutes, then headed off to the barber. I'm told that some people have gone missing, but I don't know anything about it. George delivers meat for my pies. Lovely lad. I pay on delivery. I believe he picks it up from a local butcher shop.
You mean the annoying bloke nosing around? I told him to sod off. I pride myself on the quality of the beef I sell. Somebody selling cheap around here, though, my sales have dropped off. George? I don't know any George.
An odd man indeed. He spent a fair amount of time in here, poking around. Some people around town just seem to vanish. It is mysterious. George delivers that to us. It's amazing. The flowers just grow and grow. Sweet boy. Constantly giving my assistant gifts, a jacket, a handbag, and so on.
I saw him going into the barber shop when I was on my way to work. In this kind of neighborhood, people come and go. George is my sweetheart. I think he plans to propose marriage soon. Maybe.
Yeah, I gave him a trim. He asked no-ended questions. When I cut his hair, I notices a tattoo right at the base of his neck. A green Celtic cross it was. I'm trying to quit drinking. Sometimes my hand shakes when I'm given a shave. You're right. Several people have disappeared over the past months. Some of them were customers of mine. George was in here earlier, getting an haircut. He wanted to look nice for his girl. He's been seeing Joanna from the flower shop for some time now. Said he's finally saved up enough money to pop a question.
He He was coming too close to figuring out where all those people went. They got parceled out to the baker, the florist, and me.
You very cleverly puzzled that one out. A very unpleasant crime. Perfect for one of Mr. Raymond's penny dreadfuls. Think of that. Crushed by a crate. The most hated man in London.
Can you imagine achieving such a title? One day my brilliance will bring me similar recognition.
Mr. Raymond, what are you talking about?
It's of no consequence. What's important is that this man was hated by many. But who delivered the fatal blow?
I know the man. He's hated by everyone. Surprisingly, it's not clear what killed him. I find multiple wounds. No need to send many people to jail for killing such a terrible man. What say you only arrest the single person who actually caused his death? He appears to have been stabbed with a perforating weapon, perhaps a spike of some kind. There would be bleeding and it would affect motor control right away, but death wouldn't come for another 6 minutes.
I suspect that there is at least one deadly toxin in his system.
Tie up my hair around a knitting needle. What business is it of yours? He's my husband. Each day I bring him the household expenses just after he eats his apple. I also brought him his invitation to the knighthood ceremony, the one with the special scepter. Of course, he wasn't going to take me along.
He stopped by here every day at the exact same time. He'd buy an apple and try to cheat me out of tuppence. But then most folks do that.
I wonder if someone can tell me more about this.
Ashton stops in front of this pub every afternoon to check on business rumors. Something of a bastard, Ashton. Told me he had a bit of jam on the side, if you know what I mean. My wife didn't know about it. Well, the bit of jam wants out, but he won't let her. That's the sort of fellow we're speaking of. That was Ashton's doing. The man had it in for me. He paid workers to wreck my machines. Cost me a fortune. As long as he was around, I'd never prosper.
As a matter of fact, I do carry a revolver at all times. It can be a dangerous neighborhood for a wealthy fella such as myself. This proves nothing.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
girl who works at the pharmacy? Yeah, she slipped me an extra threepence. She had a special app just for Mr. Ashton. I gave him that one when he come by. Yeah, that sounds right. Came by for an apple. He was here when we heard the crate hit the ground. Mr. Ashton did look strange-like. Eyes all yellowish. And then he turned pale after he bit into the apple. Almost green, really.
I'll be the toast of the town.
A very unpleasant fellow. But what was that business about a knighthood ceremony? In any case, Mr. Raymond will have a story for Purlock Publishing.
Up to the click with you.
My dear friend, the Ghost Club has an extraordinary case for you. Spiritualist Thaddeus the Amazing has predicted his own death at his next séance. Could you have a look?
We have a visitor.
What is happening here?
Help!
Not yet. Someone, light the lamps.
Oh. He's actually dead.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
Nothing but a showman, really. Each week he gave a séance with all his clients present together. So many people makes everything much more dramatic. I attend Lady Ursula at these sessions. She's ailing and needs someone to help her along. I have no particular belief in an afterworld, but if it comforts Milady, I see no harm.
I sought him out after the death of Mittens. I was so hoping to hear from my loved one. I'm convinced Thaddeus could have communicated Mittens' wishes to me. I must know to whom Mittens wishes that I should leave my fortune. And now Thaddeus is lost to us. I shall never know. Mittens is my beloved kitty cat. She was run over by a milk wagon several weeks ago. I've been trying desperately to contact my sweet thing ever since. I'm not well, though, and likely haven't long to live myself.
This is so frustrating. I had a simple question, but have had to come back for séance after séance, week after week. Each time Thaddeus divined a partial number from the other side, but never the entire correct number. Today he promised that I would get everything. Thaddeus felt that if I signed some papers, it would demonstrate to my dead father that I had absolute trust in Thaddeus.
I have no doubt that his powers were genuine. He was able to tell me of my daily comings and goings, and all manner of details that he couldn't possibly have known. He certainly was going to be able to put me in contact with my sister. I'm so sorry to lose Thaddeus. The oddest part is that he claimed all would be revealed to each of us before his death. I've been coming here to decide whether I should accept a marriage proposal. Thaddeus had been attempting to contact my departed sister so that she could give me advice. Thaddeus was a kind man who sincerely wanted me to make the best choice.
He was an incredible psychic. I came to clarify some personal financial matters. I don't understand what happened. He foretold his own death, but I didn't expect it to happen like this.
My brother has become obsessed with some secret bank account. He inherited almost all of my father's fortune, as well he should as the male heir, but some was locked in a secret account. I think it unlikely that it should be a significant amount. I went along to the seances a couple of times. I thought it was a waste of my brother's time. Power of attorney to a psychic? That sounds very unusual indeed.
Somebody called a cop. Get it.
Well now, I didn't ask about this.
Never trust a man who tells you what you want to hear. He's after something. Taking advantage of my daughter's love for her departed sister. With that charlatan gone, things can get back to normal. My daughter's engagement to Everett Boyd can be announced at last. A girl Janice's age should be married. Everett is a very sensible young man from a good family. He'll be very successful, I'm sure of it. Janice's elder sister was strong-willed. Janice always followed her lead. That's why it's so sad that she asks her advice, even in death. Time for Janice to think for herself. I know what's best for her.
Oh.
Her father mentioned this swindler to me. I understand it's because of him that my engagement has been delayed. Janice is a lovely creature. I would be honored were she to accept my proposal. I do adore her. I know the owner of a local brewery, and I'm convinced his business will flourish. He just needs some financial backing. Now Janice is free to be married at last. I'll invest my dowry in the brewery and make a fortune.
The veg won't buy itself. You're wasting my time, you are.
Lady Ursula's health is not good at all. And now she's lost her cat, it's almost like she has nothing left to live for. He's been Lady Ursula's butler for years. We have plans to marry. But first, Douglas needs to put together a little nest egg. He says he'll have some money soon. Lady Ursula was planning to leave her fortune to her cat Mittens. Since the cat passed on, she's been going to that spiritualist in hopes that Mittens will tell her what to do with the money.
That's me. Yeah, some fella come by here every so often. Gives me a silver sixpence if I tell him everything about the folks in that house. Nothing unusual about him. Just a regular fella. I've seen him go into that building over there.
I wonder if someone could tell me more about this.
I simply do not believe it. And if you're implying that my butler was paying Thaddeus, I must ask you, why would a great psychic do the bidding of a common butler?
My own sister? Paying Thaddeus off? I thought he was a bit too insistent that I sign that paper. Well, Anne is going to get a good talking to, believe you me.
Good Lord, you found the office? I admit it, then. Thaddeus and I traveled the world, bamboozling the gullible and then exposing the swindle. But his death was meant to be a fake. I have no reason to want Thaddeus dead. Quite the contrary.
You believe that Everett paid Thaddeus to manipulate me? It cannot be true. Thaddeus knew all of my comings and goings. He genuinely could communicate with the world beyond.
You think someone paid Thaddeus to tell my lady that a cat wanted them to inherit? Well, that would be quite a clever scheme indeed. He was going to reveal my plot. He paid the price for betraying a fellow crook.
This Thaddeus fellow was rather too clever by half. But you pieced it all together very cleverly.
Up to the click
Mr. Raymond was particularly interested in this one. He admired the duplicity of Thaddeus.
Hey! Someone help! Some trap found something down there! Looks like foul play!
Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions.
I heard a splash, and right quick pulled this bloke out of the shallows, dead as a mackerel. I live there now, if you can call it living. I lost my job, didn't I? No need for the likes of me when a machine can do the work. A nice warm coat like that on a dead man? What do you expect? I snatched it before somebody else came along to nick it. Like it.
I should go back and ask about this.
The midnight train? That must be the 616. Stops in the station down the road. If you hurry, it might still be there.
You better hurry. It's leaving right now.
Odd thing was, some noises on the roof woke me up briefly. You say someone was thrown from up there? You have to be a very strong fella to drag someone up onto the roof. Vivian had another of her dupes in her compartment by then. After that, I remember people going past me from time to time, but I was half asleep. Killian was on this train. Cool. I used to work in his foundry. I never even seen him. None of us workers ever knew what he looked like.
Nothing unusual. A couple of passengers came in and had a sort of business meeting. One of them was buying a lot of drinks for the other, and then they started to argue. But Vivian went over and joshed them out of it.
I wonder if someone could tell me more about this.
It was a typical evening. As far as I knew, nothing unusual happened until you came aboard with this story of a murder. Just another wealthy passenger. They're all pretty much the same. I was tidying up in the passenger car. Around midnight, Vivian ran through. She thought someone was looking for her.
Well, it's a noisy train. Plenty of passengers have trouble getting to sleep, so I keep a sedative here behind the bar, yeah? Peter, nice bloke. Came here after being sacked from a foundry a few months ago. I'll tell you, he looked white as a ghost after he served the businessman.
We're done here.
Peter worked with me at the foundry. He He's a very strong bloke. I got my arm mangled in one of the damn machines they put in. Then Killian sacked the whole crew. Peter, he helped me get hired as train staff.
I had drinks in the dining car with Killian. We had business dealings in the past. It was a pleasant surprise to discover him on this train. I suppose there were some disagreements, but there always are when a great deal of money is involved. I felt unusually tired and came back here to get some sleep.
Mr. Wolf had a few with Mr. Killian. Then the young lady invited herself over to have a glass with him. Mr. Wolf bought him drink after drink. Then they got angry. But the young lady come over, and it's obvious that Mr. Killian was interested in a rendezvous, like. Around about 11:30, Killian and her left together. Mr. Wolf became terribly tired, even though he'd only had one drink. He toddled off to bed well before midnight. I stayed in the dining car for a few drinks with the barman. I've been Mr. Wolf's valet for going on several years. He's frail and needs a man like me to help him about.
Well now, I didn't ask about this. I wonder if someone could tell me more about this.
Nothing unusual at all. I had a drink with some gents and then retired to my sleeper. Someone slipped a note under my sleeper door a few minutes before midnight. It said I should come to the dining car. I went, but only Ryan and Wolf's man were there, and they were both drunk. The rich fella, I did talk with him. Very charming. But a single woman has to be careful, you know? Did something happen to him? Oh, all right. I flirt with rich blokes and the barman slips him a mickey. I take him back to my sleeper and they nod off before I have to do anything shameful. They wake up thinking they had a night of fun and hand me a few quid. That's what happened with Mr. Killian, but he was gone when I come back from looking for the man who left the note.
He's a trusted valet. He's terrifically strong, which makes him useful in many a situation. You mean the young lady? She and Killian hit it off famously. Embarrassing, really.
Clever little minx. She and the barman got a little scam going. I think everyone on the staff knows about it.
She's a frequent passenger, that one. Hangs about with the wealthier sort. Likes to entertain them, if you take my meaning. Yeah, I helped Vivian fleece the Jews. I slipped a pill in the wine for the table. Both gents got sleepy, but Vivian picked the richest one.
She rides the train often. She's very friendly with the other passengers. I gave him what he deserved. The man was heartless.
I believe something larger is afoot. A lot of murderous anger concerning industrialists. Might be something to look into.
Up to the click with you.
There has been a murder at the palace. I need you to be careful with this one. Anti-royalist pamphlets have been cropping up and tensions are high. The Queen is very nervous about security. This way.
Here we are. Good luck.
Now that I've seen this, I should ask more questions. I wonder if someone could tell me more about this.
Please, leave the room for a moment. No one is permitted to see me open the safe. Cannot imagine that someone was after the scepter. I must see it. I ordered the scepter with the dove to be brought from the tower for tonight's event. Thank you, heavens! It is untouched. Poor man. I arrived to find him here, dead as you see him. He gave his life to defend my person. Only I know the combination. The vault contains the very precious scepter with the dove, which I've chosen to be used in tonight's knighthood ceremony. This evening, I will knight several industrialists that have worked to end the practice of child labor. All of London's luminaries are invited.
I should return and find out about this.
he's been all in a state. Think there's some sort of master criminal on the loose. Then this morning, he's gone. Come to think of it, he had been going on about the Queen and all for the last day or two. Seemed to think she was in some sort of trouble.
Murder!
He said he was onto something. Said everything added in clues.
Help!
You know, when he thought something was important, he'd write it up in invisible ink. Lemon juice like. He'd use smoke to read it. If you have a way to make smoke, you can see what it says. I did see Artie's friend, Mr. Raymond. He'd just come from Purlock Publishing with his new Penny Dreadful. Seemed very excited about it. I never liked...
Murder! Bloody murder! Here! Help!
He's planning an explosion at the palace. It must be evacuated. Yeah! Yeah!
That will be all.
One more for the pauper's pit.
There's a body here.
There's something not quite right.
Well, no more fun and games for you, eh?
They must be just had these trousers.
I need to escape this place.
There's at least 100 people here for the knighthood ceremony. The Queen will use the scepter with the dove for the knighthood.
I dare say I shall be a...
Run! Out!
Do as you're told.
Your lives are in danger!
I demand to know what's going on.
Run! Out! Run! Out!
Mr. Fry, I grant you leave, but order me to leave.
Good. They're out. Why is nothing happening? Nothing? What's going on? I've been tricked! Raymond! Why has he done this?
You are more naive than you appear.
Look beyond the obvious, beyond surface appearances.
Nothing but a showman. So many people makes everything more dramatic.
I found the same clues you found. Quite right.
I got a
I brought him his invitation to the knighthood ceremony. The one with the special scepter.
Never trust a man who tells you what you want to hear. He is after something. The scepter with the dove taken with your help. What could better display my genius?
No one questions you when you wear a uniform.
I suspect the solution will turn on geometry.
Quite right. The dead guard was I. The spider venom allowed me to fake my death. I had a perfect view from where I lay. I have stolen the Queen's most prized possession, the scepter with the dove. Think of it. I have outfoxed you, the most cunning detective in Britain. I mocked you by leaving clues for you at every turning point. Now I have the scepter, proof positive of my superiority.
Jacob! Wake up! It's Raymond! He's taken Artie hostage! They're on the roof! Evie's here to help you, Jacob!
This lad's very life.
Don't worry, Jacob. He won't know it's coming.
Now, Mr. Frog.
I suppose this means our detective days are over. But what about you, Artie?
I'm glad I survived Mr. Raymond's insanity, but sadly he won't be here anymore to write more books.
A great loss, I'm sure.
I'm quite serious, Miss Evie. Me and my friends waited every week to read the next number and find out what happened next.
Why don't you write some yourself?
A fellow would have to be very clever indeed.
Sounds like you'd be in your element, my dear.
The gruesome Whitechapel murders by Artie.
I should think I would use my full name. By Artie Conan Doyle.
I'd use Arthur. Sounds more of a serious fellow.